we are back with Sportsload Wrestling again. We took a little bit off. I don't know. I was kind of debating on if we should do more wrestling or not because it was kind of like 50-50 on what the fuck they're doing. But I'm your host Kay. We are back with Greg. How you feeling?
Yay!
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. You? I'm good. What about you?
Um, I don't know, man. I don't want to be a hater anymore in wrestling, bro. I feel like the last two episodes, I just been straight up hating on everything that happened. But like, I rightfully so. I feel like at this point, because I don't know if WWE knows what they're doing, but I feel like let's just get into it. We have to talk about Money in the Bank reaction. It's been like a couple of weeks from that. And then all the SmackDowns and Raw that happened, all the rumors and all the news that happened with WWE, R-Truth getting let go or his contract was going to be up, and then he comes back as Ron Killings, but they still call him R-Truth. And then basically everything until Night of Champions, because I feel like we should do a prediction on the separate episode for predictions, as well as it's not really set in stone yet. There's gonna be a Friday night SmackDown in Saudi Arabia still going on. Some wrestlers are potentially pulling out, depending on the whole fighting situation in the Middle East. Not gonna talk about that. We're not a politics show, but let's bang it out. Let's pause. Let's bang it out and start with the Money in Bank. Which one do you want to start with? The Women's Money in Bank, which started off the show, or do you want to start off with the tag team of Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul and
Let's start off with the women's.
All right, so the Women's Money in Bank, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Valkyrie, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, and Julia. What's your thoughts on this? Because I was watching the whole show.
I think the right person won. The only person that didn't really have that much of a storyline with anything going on because she just finished her feud with Jade. So she had nothing else going on. Everybody else had like a storyline or two going into that, so it didn't make sense for them to win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Right. I mean, okay. So overall, the whole pay per view was actually, in my opinion, a little bit better than the last couple of pay per views or PLEs or whatever the fuck they call it. But this match was okay to me because there was a lot of spots. They actually gave these girls a lot of time to do all these spots and stuff like that. I like the whole clip of like them throwing all these ladders on Rhea Ripley in the beginning of the match.
Oh
That's
yeah,
kind of cool. Obviously, they did the Stephanie Devil's Kiss on the ladder, which was kind of sick, but it was gonna be
so
meant
for
to
her
be.
how strong is her thighs? So to pull her up with her thighs onto the ladder.
That was crazy. And to be fair, she did 4 shows that whole week. Like she did like 3 matches
Yeah,
in that like weekend, which is kind of sick. But yeah, I mean, I guess
she's a star.
Naomi was the go-to. I say a lot of people were saying Rhea Ripley because Miss Money or Mommy in the Bank was like a whole thing, right? Like that was like the whole cliche.
Yeah, but Rhea don't need it.
No, she
You don't need
doesn't.
money though.
But like that would have been the big money, like the money grabber, right? Like you could have put that on
Right there.
shirts, Mommy in the Bank or
True.
whatever. Like
True.
how they did
True.
with Damian Priest with Senor in the Bank
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever they called it.
True.
But I mean, what? Before this, right? Before all the whole Money in Bank, Triple H kind of literally said like, "I'm not a big fan of the Money in Bank, like program or the whole like idea of Money in Bank," which I kind of hated on because I was like, dude, it can elevate a low card guy or girl to like main eventer, right? Like Seth Rollins,
Right.
for example. Edge, for example, was not really a main eventer, but then he became that superstar, that megastar. CM Punk is another guy that I think of where you're not really considering him as a ticket grabber, but now he is because he's like Mr. Opportunity.
Yeah, the Money Bank really did catapult those guys to stardom.
Yeah, and then you have like the opposite guys like Austin Theory. I said Austin Reeves, Austin Theory, and then you have like Baron Corbin and all these other guys that didn't really do much with the title or the cash in or
Nah.
whatever. Austin Theory cashed in a mid card level, which was kind of crazy to think about. But I kind of think Naomi. I would love to see Julia winning it, and or maybe Alexa Bliss. Roxanne would have been a perfect move because it would have kind of put more storyline to that whole like rift between Liv Morgan, her, Roxanne, and the whole Judgment Day, because you know another title,
I
whatever.
don't even I don't even know what Roxanne is doing. She's been on a losing streak since I think the new year started. 19. She's
Right.
over 19 right now.
Um.
She's bad. That is a bad losing streak. I don't know what's going
I
on
don't
there.
know if that counts because like didn't she qualify for the Money in the Bank match, right? So like
So she
there's no
did.
she can't lose her way into it, right? So I guess maybe like one on ones. I
All
think
right.
she's like 0-19. Maybe I think that's the stat.
Yeah.
You might be right on that. Um, unfortunately, Liv Morgan's injured, so I think that whole like
That's
scenario
this is
is
rough.
is just cooked because I think it would have been Liv Morgan and the tag team champions with for the Bella Twins, I believe was like the original plan, and then obviously Liv Morgan separated her shoulder, has to have surgery, might be out for 6 months, so that's gonna be rough. But yeah, I would love to see Julia because Julia really didn't have any story. Like she's heel, but like it would have
No,
been
but she got a storyline. She got a storyline with Zelina Vega right now for the U.S.
now.
title,
Well, yeah, now, and I would love to see Julia being a main eventer rather than just a mid carder. Uh,
which they I don't know why they started that storyline before Money in the Bank. They started it after Money in the Bank to make it.
correct. Yeah.
Because then when you see that she was in that storyline, it didn't make sense for her to win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, she could have had the United States title and the Money in the Bank, or my whole theory on the Money in the Bank idea is you could develop these guys and girls to be main eventers. Um,
Right.
you don't have to have them to be main eventers now, and you don't have to have them lose 90 times and then boom they win. Like I feel like Naomi should win a couple of her matches and develop her, I guess character or aura, I guess, uh, instead of just like having her lose 90 times in a row and then her cashing in, and she's like a heelish move. Well, like I hate that scenario. So I kind of like Naomi because she can honestly cash in on either one, and it kind of works. By the way, I don't know if you've seen the stat. Io Sky has not defended her title since WrestleMania, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
It's been 3 months, 4 months since WrestleMania, I
Yeah.
think, and nothing. So it's just crazy to see. Um, the next match, I would say. Oh well. Do you have like? Do you have an idea on if on who Naomi should cash in on? Cause I have not no zero clue. I guess Tiffany, but
Well, if Jade wins Queen of the Ring and
right.
Jade beats Tiffany for the belt at SummerSlam, she cashes in on Jade
Uh,
to take the belt from
so
Jade.
they're just gonna push that storyline even more.
So it's key question here.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they kind of did that with Liv Morgan and Rhea. Like they kind of just dragged the fuck out of the storyline.
Or she's gonna cash it in this Friday because they're having a last woman standing match, and she's gonna win it, and then Jade is gonna win the ring, and they're gonna fight at SummerSlam.
Interesting. I would kind of see them like I would kind of see Naomi cash in at SummerSlam if that makes sense. Not
Correct.
at Night of Champions. I would also kind of see Io Sky. I'm not really sure if they confirmed like a draft shakeup, like an WWE draft yet, where like wrestlers move around through the brands and stuff like that. I don't know if they
Right.
confirmed it or not, but if they did, or if they are going to do it, her cashing on Io Sky would kind of be a good fit of maybe the title switching brands, or she's going to stay on Raw, whatever. I don't know exactly what is going to happen because the brand split has crumbled to the fucking ground at this point, with Cody Rhodes coming in and stopping Seth Rollins last night on Raw.
Well, with the EO situation, I think they might make EO defend the belt against Asuka at SummerSlam.
Well,
Asuka just gonna get the number one contender spot for it.
Io Sky is versing Asuka at Night Champions, right?
No, it's Asuka and Jade for Queen of the Ring.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Yeah,
Kind of weird. I feel like maybe Rhea. A lot of people are saying Rhea Ripley is gonna be the one that defeats Io Sky, because Rhea Ripley is technically like 0-5 or 0-4 against Io Sky, and
yeah.
records are meant to be broken, unfortunately. But
Well,
moving on, I guess, unless you want to have anything else to say.
no, no.
I felt like that was kind of like given. Moving on, Dominic Mysterio versus Octagon Jr. This was kind of a weird match because it was developed.
Waste of time.
It was a waste of time because it was developed in the AAA pay-per-view, Worlds Collide, which I found like it was kind of weird because like Dominic called him out. They kind of had like a little scuffle, and then he was like, "I'm gonna fight you at Money in the Bank, and I'm gonna defend my title." I'm like, if you're trying to be a heel, I wouldn't say you would defend your title because of that, but I guess it was a good defense by Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah,
Again,
didn't make sense.
didn't
Waste of
make
time.
sense. Waste time.
Moving
And
on.
well, I was gonna say like, I WWE needs to figure out if he's a face or a heel. It's kind of like becoming a weird like draw at this point. A lot of these wrestlers are being in that scenario.
The product started back to boo him again, so
Yeah, so like he has like tendencies of like being a face, but then he's kind of like pulling the heel tactics a little bit still. So I'm like, what's happening here? Like, are they not pulling the trigger on him being a face? Like, what was the reason him coming into that WrestleMania and then him, like, winning the title and then running back to the ring and putting the title up in the air and everyone cheering? Like was that just him going off script, or was that like him
I
trying
think
to?
that was him going off. I think that was him going off script.
Okay, I mean, fair.
Just still in the moment.
I don't blame him. I mean, I don't blame him at all. But
No,
it's a weird scenario. Here's the one that I think was a skippable thing. Becky Lynch versus Lila Valkyria. Hulk Hogan pulls up again, and Becky Lynch finally beats Lila again. The whole storyline was Becky Lynch was like 0-3 against her, and this is the only time, so forth and so forth. So Becky wins, holds her tights, and rolls her up and wins. And she's now the new Intercontinental Women's Champion. Any thoughts on this?
the match was good up until that point. I don't think Becky should have won. I think somebody else should be a liar for it because Becky don't need the belt, and
Correct.
somebody else could have been built up for that belt to win it. So somebody from NXT could have came up and for it, like Stephanie Tankera could have put that on her finale, so she got ready to put the world title on her.
Agreed.
But
I didn't understand. Like, this is like the feeling of like Becky's gonna grab the title for a couple of months, and then she's gonna drop it back here, maybe at SummerSlam, right? Or she's gonna, lose it to Bailey, which is gonna be a weird scenario because then it's just like two veterans fighting for the title when that title should be for the younger generation, like Stephanie Valkyrie and Valk, or Julia or Roxanne Perez or one of those girls, right? The younger audience.
Right.
Yeah, again, and then I agree. I think the match was okay because there was some parts where like they were kind of like either Becky was too slow or Valk was too fast, and you kind of saw that a little bit. There was parts where like you saw like it was like I think it was a clip where Becky was hanging off her head off like the ring thing, and then like she like dove on her head, and I think it actually landed. Well, I don't know. I was like, oh shit! Like her head, like her head hit the floor, I believe, or something like that. And then I
I
always
think
hate
so.
this. I always hate the like the ref count where it's like 1, 2, and then like they're both on the ground. And at 9, they both get up and then roll in, and then they're just there on
Yeah,
the
that was
floor.
so stupid. That was
I
just so
always
stupid.
hated that, and I still hate it to the day. Like if you are at 9 and you get up and you're just like roll in, you're still like knocked out afterwards. I think you should be done.
And yeah, the way they get up, it made it like they was groggy. They got up and jumped into the ring, and then they were like, "Oh wait, I'm so groggy."
Right,
That don't
like
make no sense.
I hated that part. Now, sometimes if you're like getting up and it's like 7, 8, and then you roll in, and that'll be fine. In a boxer's move, you get up at 9, you get some rest, and then you're fine after that. Whatever, that'd be great. But the 9 thing, I hated. Obviously, the ending was kind of meh, and then Becky wanted her to hold like her hand up and stuff like that, which was kind of also meh. Um, and the whole stipulation was like if Becky loses, she would never challenge for that title if Valk had like held the title, which was kind of like a too specific scenario because it's like okay, like all she had to do is just interfere in the match, like the next whoever versus her next interfere, and then she can just challenge that person afterwards, which is kind of like a loophole. But
Right.
yeah, again, didn't really push the needle for that, and I think that was like my like bathroom break match of the night for that
I think
scenario.
I actually kind of fell asleep watching that match. Like,
That's
you
kind
know,
of
like,
that's kind of crazy.
like halfway through, I kind of dozed over, and I woke up. Like, wait, there's a match going on.
To be fair, this kind of felt like a Raw match though. Like it
Yeah.
didn't have to be in the Money in the Bank, which I just you know. The next match was the men's Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Penta, Solo, Sokoa, El Grande Americano, and Andrade.
All right. Now here's the thing.
Crash out, my boy.
It was obvious who was gonna win because the woman match, a SmackDown superstar won, which meant on the men's side, a Raw superstar was gonna win. They wasn't gonna have both a SmackDown superstar win the Money
I
in the
never,
Bank.
I didn't actually connect those dots. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't connect those dots. Until
So,
today, I didn't connect those dots.
yeah, once I realized who was on Raw, I'm like, yeah, Grande Americano not winning it. And who's in the match? Penta was in the match.
Penta was in the match, and
Yeah, I was like, Penta not winning it yet. Not yet. He just came in. He's not winning that.
yeah, I
All
think
right, the
he's too
obvious choice
over.
was Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
The obvious choice was Seth Rollins.
which,
Other than that, I did enjoy the match. I did enjoy it.
yeah, there was some good spots on the match. Again, they gave these guys a lot of time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I completely forgot Andrade was in this match, bro. And I was like, why is this guy in this match? They like out of everyone in this, like you could have Seth, you could have had Sami Zayn, you could have had not Jey Uso, but you could have had Gunther, you could have had dude, I
I,
could
I think he beat Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes for that spot,
you
if
could
I'm
have
not
had
mistaken.
Carmelo Hayes. Like I would rather have Carmelo Hayes because I feel like Carmelo Hayes is getting buried low key. You could have had any of the NXT guys. You could have had
Mm-hmm.
like, literally you could have had fucking Joe Hendry pull up and be in this match, and I'll be like, all right, cool, right? Andrade was kind of like a fill-in, I guess, and I have to hate on this guy because he pulled up from AEW, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, he might actually get pushed." And again, he's just sitting there and catering for 90% of his contract, and unfortunately, that's kind of how it is gonna be. Um, So I felt like Solo Sikoa, or well, Solo Sikoa or LA Knight was gonna be the guy that would hold the title or the belt with the belt. Um, Andrade Americano would have been ironic because he can still do like the El Senor in the bank meme,
Right.
and he pushes the whole Gulf America thing, and everyone hates on the gimmick. I think it's a terrible gimmick. I guess they're just like rage baiting the audience right now with that whole gimmick. But the whole Jacob Fatu saying "I hate you, Solo" and then him turning on him was great.
That's smart. That's smart. Spot of the night.
No, hold on. The spot of the night is when Andrade flipped into the chair and the ladder and climbed it up, jumped into the next one when Penta was holding it up, and then he hits him in
Oh
the
yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah,
sick.
yeah. That was good.
That was sick.
Oh, it was
Unfortunately,
fun.
logically, I hate the thing where it's like you're climbing up and then you have to wait for someone else to like stop you and stuff like that. Like there was clips.
Yes, it's stupid.
If you want to go into detail, like you can watch them basically wait for someone to climb up and then they climb up, or they just sit there. Like Penta was like literally sitting there grabbing the briefcase, and like Chad Gable, I'm gonna fucking call him Chad Gable because I'm not calling him a fucking Starbucks name anymore. Chad Gable basically flipped over and did like 8 fucking flips to just hit him in the head. But for a split second, I was like, is Andrade gonna win this belt or this briefcase? Because again, he's a guy that I didn't really care about, and he's another scenario where it's like this could be he's gonna lose to Oblivion and then cash in and fail type of scenario. And obviously, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed came out and helped Seth Rollins win the belt.
Yo, he died. Americano died.
That was a
Gable
sick
died.
dude.
He died.
Braun Breaker is like leveling up his spears, and it's crazy. Like the Penta spear at Raw, we could talk about that later.
Oh my god,
was insane. I felt like that was more stiff than anything else. But yeah, I mean Seth Rollins winning the briefcase. I thought Roman Reigns was gonna pull up or someone was gonna come out and try to even the odds. I guess not.
I think they saved Roman Reigns for when Seth try to catch it. Then he'll come on and screw that over.
So you're saying like maybe SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder
Or Night of Champions.
I wonder who's he's gonna cash it in on. John Cena had this whole bit of like he's not gonna cash in on me because if I leave, he can cash in on the World Heavyweight Champion. He'll be the only World Heavyweight Champion. Which I was like, see, I like this John Cena, and we can talk about the John Cena pipe bomb soon. But Seth Rollins was I guess he's what, a 2-time Money in the Bank champion, matching CM Punk and Edge.
Yep.
For that.
Yep.
I don't think
technically Edge didn't win the Money in the Bank match for it.
Yeah,
he just beat Kennedy in a one-on-one.
Right, but I don't. For me, from this list, I don't think he needed the Money in the Bank, but I guess it is what it is.
I would have preferred LA Knight winning it, but as I said before, they had a SmackDown Superstar win earlier. They're gonna have a Raw Superstar win now.
Yeah, LA Knight is kind of in like the oblivion. Like he's in limbo of like he has to wait his turn, and unfortunately, it's Cody Rhodes and John Cena. And before that was Roman Reigns, and then before that was Brock Lesnar, and then before like he's kind of just shit out of luck with that scenario.
Well, I'm hearing there's a rumor going on that might win the world title, might successfully cash in and win. And when that happened, no, not the world title. My bad, the WWE Championship. And when that happens, Gunther's gonna get traded to SmackDown for LA Knight, so LA Knight could feud with Seth for the belt, and Gunther will be on SmackDown for the world title.
Okay, possibly, yeah. I heard
That's the
rumors that
one here.
I heard rumors that LA Knight was gonna go to Raw, and in reality, I thought he was going to be a main eventer when he came out and confronted Randy Orton, confronted Cody and John Cena. It was kind of sick to see because like he was like kind of the sore thumb in that whole promo, but unfortunately he is not in the main event. We can talk about that soon. The tag team match: Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, John Cena, Logan Paul.
Great match. The match started off slow. I mean, but it got better towards the end, especially with his boy R-Truth coming back.
Yeah, we could yeah, our truth coming back was kind of cool. Um,
Now, but what's the best spot for that match was when Logan Paul took that suplex, holding the drone camera.
was that the best part? I thought the best part was when he like did the spring forward backflip or whatever into Jey Uso's knees on the
Oh,
table.
well, that was a good spot too. I just like that angle with the drone.
Yeah, that was kind of sick move too. I everyone hates on Logan Paul. He's a good wrestler still, no matter what. He's still a good wrestler. Um,
He's good, but he's a scumbag bitch.
Again, they're kind of doing the whole rage bait thing where they're just like, all right, like we're just gonna hate on like just give the audience the fuel to just boo the thing, which I kind of just be like, you're playing with fire, WWE, because if one bad turn, a lot of these audience viewerships are gonna go to AEW. One bad move and it's gone in the dust.
Right.
Yeah, so let's talk about the R2 thing. The confirmation was that R-Truth was going to walk away. His contract was going to be up. When people's contracts are up, they're just going to be written off on WWE. Let him
Right.
ride out the contract. That's about it. He had a top 5 selling shirt. A lot of people on Twitter, on the internet, was hating on WWE because he was very over. Like, a lot of people cheered him. I mean, when he came out with
I only did the locker room too. In the
yeah,
locker room
a
too.
lot of people were stunned that they were letting him walk. The rumors were that they offered him a contract, a lowball contract. He refused, and he had a top 5 sale. He was over. A lot of people cheered him when he did the John Cena skit. He had a really good gimmick, in my opinion. It made sense for why they were letting him walk because they didn't really have much to do with him. He's like 50 years old and he was just like
Right.
a comedy gimmick at this point. He was not main eventing. He was not winning a title. And him coming back was kind of shocking, but also was like, why? Right? It was kind of like a forced scenario. But the thing that I hated is that WWE was like, this was all planned. And I was like, it was not.
No. Even R-Truth's son went out on Twitter with like stop the cap.
Yeah, like I think Triple H came out and was like, yeah, we're just playing you guys. But
No
the
part of the show.
yeah, the reporter came. I think Sean Ross Sapp said like, nope, this was a last second thing. The CEO Nick Khan, not Tony Khan, Nick Khan,
They call it.
called R-Truth and gave him a better contract or something like that, and he re-signed.
And that's the only person R-Truth would have talked to or talking to because Triple H tried to reach out to him, but he didn't want to talk to Triple H at all. It was until Nick Khan called him and he talked to Nick Khan.
Right.
Nick Khan got him back.
And I'm kind of indifferent on this. Like, I love R-Truth. I think he's a great like mid carder.
Right.
And he did the whole John Cena like. He did the whole John Cena match at Saturday Night Main Event, so it was kind of a good nod and kind of like a good like send off thing. It just kind of threw a wrench into Triple H's game plan, I guess.
Right.
Now you kind of force R-Truth in this scenario when I don't know what Triple H is gonna plan. I don't know what his plan is. Like, does this alter Triple H's SummerSlam events or matches or WrestleMania matches and stuff like that? So we gotta figure that out. But in reality, I'm not gonna lie to you. like R-Truth is gonna be red hot for the couple of like in the summer, and by September everyone's gonna be like, why is he still in this company? And he's just gonna be like stuck in like limbo, and he's not gonna even show up to most of these shows.
Right.
But side note, I think rumor like him and like Damian Priest might have like a tag team thing that might go on. I think he might have a feud with Aleister Black. They had the whole clip of like Ron and then R-Truth called him Black. I was like, okay. All right. But yeah,
Even when he's not trying to be funny, this nigga's funny.
but yeah, that was Money in the Bank. Any changes? My whole gripe is like there was only one, technically two title defenses in this whole pay per view. They're both the Intercontinental title.
They haven't been defending the belt at all on the pay-per-view.
Right.
And I don't understand what's going on with that.
So,
like
I don't know either.
Your next pay-per-view is for Night of Champions, and you only got 2 title matches.
Right. Yeah. I don't know either, and I mean, I guess they're trying to like do like the whole like UFC thing where it's like the premium events are like the premium big events is gonna have like the bigger matches and stuff like that. I just never liked that scenario because like as someone that wants to go to some of these events or the people that like I'm watching this through Peacock or whatever. Like I'm paying like $20 a month or whatever just to watch a filler episode, of SmackDown.
Right.
Like another episode of SmackDown, which I just think is kind of stupid in my opinion. But we could just transition into the Raw after Money in the Bank, and it was mainly spotlighted with Gunther beating Jey Uso for the title, and it was clean.
Then my prediction was wrong for that. I predicted Seth was going to come on and capture Money in the Bank and win, but I was wrong.
I was actually shocked that Seth didn't like tease cashing it in after like at Money in the Bank as well. Like both titles were there, right? John Cena and Jey Uso were there,
and both champions technically down.
Yeah, I would love to see like someone cash in when both titles were there and see like how that would like kind of result in like him either have to pick or like they're just default like, okay, like you're a Raw guy, so you're going for the Raw title, or like he can technically get both, right? Like I would love to see
right,
that scenario, right? So that being said, two things happened that night. Nikki Bella came back. Apparently her and her sister are gonna like actually commit to being full-time wrestlers. Okay.
I don't know why Bree's not a good wrestler. Sorry.
And both of them aren't, in my opinion. I mean,
Nikki's better though.
But my gripe with this is you're kind of taking a spotlight from a younger superstar, in my opinion.
True.
Like, this could be Stephanie Valkyrie's spot, but now a 45-year-old girl is coming in and being like, here we go. Like, I don't think you need her to be in the company per se. Like, for example, you can bring back Paige, but you're not for a reason. But or you can bring back like Mandy Rose or whoever, but you're not because there's obviously.
I'll definitely not bring her back. They definitely not.
But there's because most of the thing is like there's a lot of talent in NXT that could be ready to be called up, which I'm stunned on. Nikki Bella came back. I guess they had a problem with Liv Morgan. That's kind of washed at this point. They're not taking the titles away from Liv Morgan, which was kind of surprising.
I think he's just gonna give Roxanne the belt to defend.
I think they're just gonna sideline the titles for 6 months until Liv Morgan. Like they want to continue the program with Liv Morgan, stuff like that, which is
Now,
kind.
if you seen Raw last night, Roxanne came out and helped Raquel and Rhea. So I think they're gonna give her the other belt.
That would kind of push
That's
the
what they.
story though. I would
If
like that.
that was. That's what they were doing with Chelsea Green when what's the name went down got pregnant Carmella got pregnant.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They put the title on Sonya, and Sonya got hurt, and so they put the title on Piper.
yeah. I mean, they always do that. With, like the New Day does that a lot of the times. And then Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, I believe, or Jimmy, did that
Yeah,
a couple
and then
times.
Bianca and Naomi did that when Naomi took out Jade.
Yeah, that was kind of weird because like they were not in a group, like they were not like a trio, or they were not in a group. They
No,
just were-
but but the same thing. Sonya Deville wasn't in a group with Chelsea Green when she took on Carmella's spot.
yeah.
Piper wasn't in a group either when she took the spot.
I
They just
guess,
put the belt on them.
yeah. So I mean, fair, I guess. I just never liked the tag team titles there. Period.
Either.
I think some of these like titles should be like both brands. You're kind of limiting yourself to just being on Raw, you know. But that's just me. But the other big event was Gunther winning against Jey Uso clean, and now the reports has been said that Jey Uso's title win was supposed to be short, and Gunther was supposed to get it back. That was the first thing. The second thing is that Gunther and Goldberg was the biggest draw apparently from WWE, and this is like they wanted Gunther and Goldberg to have that title match or have the title for the match.
Make no sense.
Which I'm put Goldberg in the fucking ground, please, Gunther. Please, for the love of God, put because like, and then Goldberg comes out and does a couple interviews, and he's like, I don't need to like, I'm the number one contender no matter what. I'm like 190 and 0 or whatever he says. Like I don't need to prove myself. He's 53 years old or 63 years old with bad knees, and we've seen the last couple of matches, and it was terrible. All of them were terrible, and he buried a lot of the younger wrestlers like Bray Wyatt.
Except for the Brock Lesnar match.
One of them. The other one was kind of like meh. The other one was like 6 seconds, right? Like the first Universal title was like 6 seconds. Was kind of weird, but yeah. Goldberg says you're next to Gunther. I think this is like the other wrestling, the other Raw afterwards. Because I'm not gonna go through all the Raws.
Yeah, nah, I feel you. It's been too long.
Yeah, and then Goldberg this week. I'm not Goldberg. Gunther this week cooked, and I mean cooked. Goldberg. He's like, you're 53. This is not 1999 anymore. It's 2025. I see a 53-year-old man staring at the mirror. I'm gonna like beat you and stuff like that. Like you're just a one-trick pony, which I loved. I think like watching that promo. I love Gunther. I'm gonna glaze the fuck out of him right now. I think they should have kept him as the fucking title holder at WrestleMania. It would have made him an ultra heel, and this is just a fucking like another like roadblock, I guess, or another checkpoint in this thing. But you gave Jey Uso the title, I guess, for like a good 3 months, and now he's in like mid card land. Oh, the rumor is that him and his brother is gonna come back as tag team again. I guess I don't really care. Not really a fan of the Eat Boy, so here it is. But Gunther, great. I hope he holds the title until like fucking 2099. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I think he is the future. please don't give Seth Rollins this fucking title. Unfortunately, I think that is going to be what WWE is going to move on to. But Gunther is a great, like, I feel like he has the Roman Reigns esque, like, capability, like the tribal chief vibes. Obviously, he doesn't have the group behind him. He's a solo man right now. But yeah, I mean, I think he has like that energy, that capability to do it.
I do think they should bring back Imperium.
Well,
And
one
they
of those
should
guys.
add on.
Well, one of those guys.
They
Got
should
cut.
add on Ludwig. They should bring not Ludwig. What's his name?
You talking about the NXT guy? Tony.
Dragunov.
I would say
They should add Dragunov to it.
I would say I wish Gunther holds the title until Dragunov's fully healthy. Maybe Dragunov wins the Royal Rumble, and Dragunov beats him at WrestleMania. That's my whole prediction. I don't see them doing that because Dragunov.
Not at all.
Dragunov's not a main eventer yet. I think Braun Breaker would have a better chance on winning the Royal Rumble, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Ludwig Kaiser kind of fell off the world after the whole like Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany like spat, where he like Charlotte Flair was like, "You're like Ludwig is sliding into my DMs," and like they never really mentioned him afterwards. And I think this Raw, like he was in the background of like a fight or whatever, but that was about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I think it was like Tony Salvatore. He's in NXT. Like that group being Gunther's like lackeys, I guess. I wouldn't mind that at all. But yeah, I mean, again, like I would love to have him like keep this title until WrestleMania. Not gonna lie to you, 25% of me is saying Goldberg is gonna win the title. Just for that one last dance.
This part of me that I feel like WWE might do some shock shit, some shock value shit. And they're like, oh my god, Goldberg will pull it though. They got it. They did that with him beating Brock. Like, oh my god, he just beat Brock in like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
I think they might want to try to recapture that, having him beat Goldberg that quick. Yeah. But I don't know. I hope not. I hope not.
I think this is why they wanted Gunther to be there, because if they did that with Jey Uso's dead in the water. Like that whole yeet movement's dead.
Right.
But and Gunther can bounce back because he lost to Sami Zayn, he lost to Jey Uso, and he bounced back.
It's fucking Gunther.
I mean, he, like, to be fair, like he's okay on the mic, but like from how he like kind of like talks and what he talks about, he's better. And he's great in the ring, so it's even better. But yeah, I mean, that's on the Raw side. Let's talk about the SmackDown side. The whole John Cena. Listen, I'm gonna be a hater again. They should take away Cody Rhodes. Let that man move on. I
know he's winning King of the Ring, right?
I could see it, but this whole John Cena CM Punk like feud should have been WrestleMania. It should have been WrestleMania, 100%.
Yeah.
Like that should have been WrestleMania. That either could have been SummerSlam, whatever it does. Like this is peak fucking wrestling, and I like the child in me is saying this, but also like I'm excited to see. The John Cena pipe bomb was great. I don't want to hear it.
All back to the CM Punk pipe bomb with John Cena version. Oh my god!
It was great. He talked about like some of these guys from AEW. He talked about how he loved them. Talked about how like, hey, you could be the best in the world you were best in the world for like 6 minutes, but I'm the best of all time. And like the crowd was actually cheering for him, and I'm like, if he was a fucking face at this point, the fucking crowd would erupt. Is the one thing is that he was a heel and he was doing this shit, and like
it was just now starting to make shit interesting. What was just He was acting like a fucking robot.
I agree. Like he was just a robot for 90% of his heel turn, and now he's kind of like putting some human into it. But if he was a face and did the pipe bomb, it would have exploded the internet. Obviously, it did
Yeah,
regardless because it was like 25 years since the whole pipe bomb itself or whatever. But yeah, I
15
mean,
years, I think.
there was like a part where like they were chanting his name and stuff like that, and he was like smiling, like genuinely smiling, which I was like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
like I wish he was a face, and I think hopefully soon there's gonna be a turn where either Cody turns heel on John Cena and John Cena turns face. I wish they do that for SummerSlam where John Cena is a face and he's walking into MetLife as a face, and Cody Rhodes the heel. Maybe I don't think so.
There was an interview at the Fan Fest in New York
Right.
this weekend with Cody, and some lady asked him, I forgot who it was interviewing him. They said, "I love your face getting on this stuff, but anytime you want to change, anytime soon, I don't know, you pause when you think you might be a fit." And then Cody said, he said, it might come sooner than you think. It might, so you might become starting to turn heel just now.
I mean, if he turns heel on Randy Orton and wins the title, I mean wins the King of the Ring, that'd be kind of cool. Uh, but that would kind of be heel versus heel, right?
Which would have made no sense.
Yeah, so like logically it doesn't make sense, but who knows? But yeah, I mean, the whole promo for CM Punk was great. I loved it. CM Punk is a Raw guy, but he's wrestling John Cena for the title, I guess. So it doesn't. The
It
brand
doesn't
splits.
matter. Doesn't matter.
The brand is out the
It
fucking
don't
door.
matter.
The brand splits out the door. I
There was
want
was at Fan Fest,
right.
and they were doing a punching machine,
Yeah,
and they want to see the punching machine,
yeah.
and he went to a punch, and he's like, I've been throwing fake punches for 25 years.
I love it. I love, bro. Like John Cena, like the real him is great. Like
Right.
he did that a couple of times in Raw. Couple when he was like part timer, he did that. Like obviously now he's kind of like pulling the whole thing. I would love to see Super Cena come out one time, but I have 0% in me that tells me that CM Punk's winning this title at Night Champions.
Right.
I think John Cena is clean sweeping it. Now, I don't know how he's gonna win. I hope it's not the fucking Rock pulling up and helping him, or Travis Scott for fucking.
I don't know what he always do. So kick him in the dick and hit him with the belt.
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of getting cliched a little bit, and I think maybe R-Truth is gonna help, but maybe like he'll like interfere, CM Punk, whatever. Now, if you're trying to make him full heel, I think John Cena should just like start the match, punch the ref in the face, DQ, walk away, right? Like that. If you're trying to make him a full heel, I don't know if they're gonna do that. I think they might want to do like a full CM Punk John Cena final
Nah,
match.
they have to do a full match. Saudi told him. So they gotta do.
Fair.
Saudi to like, yo, what kind of bullshit ass main event that was, man. And we
But
gotta
I
hold
mean,
them hostage.
here's the thing. WWE is doing this rage bait thing. I'm telling you again. So this will be a great rage bait where it's like John Cena's
Yeah.
hyping it up, and then boom, like he does
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the.
They don't
Randy
want to fuck
Orton.
with the Saudi government.
I know. There was like a clip.
You see what happened? You see what happened when Vince tried to fuck with them? They held them hostage. Vince took the pay per view off the TV for them.
Right.
Oh yeah,
There was a
you
clip
don't want to
where
start with them movies.
I think it was 2002. Vince was like, the only thing that Arabs and Jews can come together is WWE or something like that. And I was like, I was like, okay. But yeah, I
The
mean,
question:
go for
Do
it.
you think they're gonna? Do you think they're gonna continue golf with They're gonna have 90 champion in Saudi with all the stuff going on right now or not?
Like this year,
Yeah. Like,
yeah, I think they're sticking it out because last year they kind of had the same situation happening. and they just supposed
But
to.
how? But how if there's no flights going in or out? All the flights are grounded.
I think there's okay. We're getting into a little politics, but there's like a ceasefire that's happening right now, and there is technically no war right now. And we're shooting this on Tuesday, June 24th. So hopefully there's no war in 24
Yeah,
hours.
certain somebody said they don't know what the fuck they're doing, but
Yeah, that there was a clip on that too, but um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm surprised that CM Punk actually agreed to go into the Middle East because he always like ducked out of it. Like I believe
right.
WWE wrestlers don't have the obligation to do it. And you can always opt out.
Well, apparently now it's put into the contract that they gotta do it now. When they
Interesting.
renegotiate the contract, they put that in.
Interesting. I mean, I guess that's the part of TKO. I guess. And I'm surprised CM Punk actually agreed to that. He didn't like
Right.
storm out or whatever. Yeah, but I mean, I have 0% confidence that CM Punk wins this title. I would love to have CM Punk win the title because that kind of opens up more gates. You know, CM Punk versus Randy Orton, CM Punk versus Cody, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins again, part 2. You can literally have any match with CM Punk and have John Cena do
Seth
his.
and Roman one more time.
I mean, it was not a bad match. I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't a bad match. It just had zero value to it. It was like, what the fuck?
Nope.
Why? Like, I guess winner takes Paul Heyman was the fucking finale of that. But
Can I have Paul Heyman on a pole match?
it's like Paul Heyman's urn, like remember when Undertaker's urn and shit. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, um, I just want John Cena either to turn face and kind of do this whole babyface run for the rest of his career, I guess, or give me a reason to fucking invest into John Cena turning heel. I'm only going in to watch this match because it's one of like the last time we see CM Punk and John Cena in a ring and actually wrestling together or
Right.
against each other. But other than that, like
Right.
if you tell me like John Cena's not retiring, if you tell like breaking news John Cena's not retiring, I have zero reason to watch this. I'm not gonna lie to you. If John Cena says I'm retiring in 3 years, I'll be like, all right, I'll watch this in 3 years. But the storyline's great, but I just have like this vibe of like you're just building this John Cena villain arc, so Cody Rhodes can beat him at SummerSlam. And I never liked that where when Cody Rhodes was like building himself up to beat Roman Reigns, it was like obviously that's how the story ends is that. So if that's the case, whatever. Hopefully it flips where it's Cody Rhodes the heel, John Cena is the super senior that comes out and whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's what they're planning. And unfortunately, Triple H is being Triple H.
Right.
Anything else? Do we miss anything?
I don't think so. Nope.
There's rumors of Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles being canceled. I think it's already canceled. Actually, Raw on Raw is canceled.
Dominic claimed he got some kind of injury.
Yeah. But people are saying like he pulled out from Saudi. But a lot of people are saying like maybe AJ Styles pulled out. But who knows? Not a bad match, but I mean,
Do you blame them?
What happened?
Do you blame them for pulling out?
No,
Not at all.
not at all. I mean, that would have been a great match because both guys just, I mean, AJ Styles sells the fucking house at that point. But it was replaced with Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. I like Karrion Kross as a promoter, like on the mic. He's mid as fuck in the ring.
I think he need to get a chance. He was good in NXT.
Right. Yeah. I think again, great on the mic, okay on the ring in the ring. There was some rough spots when he was versing AJ Styles. There was some rough spots when he had when he was versing Jey Uso, I believe. But maybe this is like the start of his push with Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn turns heel
Yeah.
because every time Karen Cross versus someone, they turn heel. Other than AJ Styles, apparently. Maybe, who knows?
I need Carry Person to win this match.
Do you think Sami's so going back to our last podcast, you had Sami Zayn being the SummerSlam guy to be Jey
He should
Uso.
have been. He should have been the Slam guy. But now
You-
I'm leaning towards he might be the Royal Rumble guy.
uh,
Sammy Mania. I think it might be
uh,
a Sammy Mania. I don't know. I don't know yet.
to be
I don't.
fair,
I don't see. I don't see nobody else winning. I don't. As of this point, I don't see nobody else winning. Doesn't make sense for nobody else.
um, off the top of my head, I think CM Punk, but
Nah, see if I can not winning no Royal Rumble.
it makes sense because he could honestly challenge for both titles, and you give him like a good reason, for both titles. It's just that he's kind of like old. He's getting up there in age. He's not old, but he's getting up there in age. To be fair, Sami Zayn being in Saudi Arabia makes sense. He had a huge pop last time, and he's doing it again. I'm surprised they didn't really have this before, so doing it now is kind of cool. But not sure what they're gonna do with Sami Zayn. I'm putting money on him winning. I'm not gonna lie to you because Saudi Arabia and him, I have, he's like born and raised, I think. There, or no, he's not born and raised, but like, he has lineage or something like that.
Period.
Dude, so you have Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble and who like verse and he challenges Seth Rollins.
Maybe.
Which title is he going after though?
Definitely not the WWE Championship. Definitely the world title.
You don't think like him and Cody would be like the WrestleMania main event? I'll be
Heel.
okay.
One of them is heel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know.
That's just my early prediction right now. Is Saudi winning?
I'm not really
It could
high on.
change though.
I'm not really high on Sami Zayn. Not gonna lie to you. I really think he's like a kind of like a Jey Uso, Seth Rollins type of guy, where you can kind of give him a title, but he's already over without the title, so you don't really need him to put on the title. Like you don't need to put a title on him. Obviously, the whole like main event
He deserves
guy.
to win one though.
Yeah, he deserved to win one. Obviously, I was never a fan of him when he broke Gunther's streak when he had the IC title. It's kind of weird because I was just like, dude, this guy's on another level, and he was like setting records. And then obviously Sami Zayn came in, but
I thought they should have let Jey Uso break the Gunther record, and then had Jey and Jimmy fight for the belt at WrestleMania.
yeah, that WrestleMania match was terrible. But yeah,
I thought that IC title would have made it better. I'm fighting for the IC title would have made it
right.
better.
Yeah, I
But
agree. But
don't
it is
know.
what it is. And I thought Jimmy Uso was gonna be in the United States title when Jey Uso won the World Heavyweight Champion, but that didn't work out somehow. But yeah, I mean, to wrap it up, we're gonna do a prediction this Friday. Hopefully, all the matches are cemented and we're not getting popped up with brand new matches. Anything
Well,
else?
all the matches should be cemented because they're having an early SmackDown because they're doing SmackDown in Saudi,
Mm-hmm.
so all the results could be out online by then.
Yes, but also like last second cancellations. That's why we're not doing predictions right now, because if someone cancels or if they cancel the whole show completely, the prediction doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, I mean, this anything anything else you wanna throw in?
I think they have too much fucking pay per views.
I think they have too little pay-per-views.
Too much special. Now you are building up. Y'all building up Night of Champions, and then Saturday night main event right after. Then
To be
right after
fair,
that it's Evolution,
right.
and then literally right after that is SummerSlam.
To be fair, every Saturday night main event is just a filler SmackDown episode. It feels like a filler. It is.
Y'all
Evolution.
don't need it. Y'all just trying to grab on.
They're just milking the clock at this point. They're doing the opposite of AEW. AEW does like 4 pay-per-views and that's about it. WWE is like doing like let's do 90. Just whatever helps TKO make their money.
Did you hear the rumor they might have 2 WrestleManias a year? Because Saudi wants a WrestleMania.
I did not hear this rumor, but technically they kind of have it with SummerSlam and WrestleMania, right? I mean, to be fair, but
yeah.
Saudi might just fucking host WrestleMania for the next 10 years. It honestly might work. If so they kind
like
of
to watch one at night, 9 in the morning.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So they're basically saying money talks because they dropped New Orleans for Las Vegas, so maybe they do that with Saudi soon. Maybe, I don't know. But let's just wrap it up. I think we covered all bases. If anything, we'll cover it on Friday, and let's just call it there. I'm your host, Kay. That's Greg. Hopefully we talk to you Friday. Hopefully do our predictions. Hopefully there's a fucking pay-per-view. That's the hopeful part. And let's just call it there. All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Peace.